In addition to building and controlling all of our motion tweens, the Motion Editor panel is actually also a great place to discover what's going on inside of most of the motion presets. It's all right there in front of you. Now, what I'd like to do is set a couple up, so let me move the Motion Editor panel out of the way for a moment. And let's set up some animations of the backboard that we had way back here at the beginning of our animation. I'm just going to move the playhead all the way back to frame 1, and there we can see it popping in. Our backboard consists of some background elements and also the rim, and we have that broken in two just so we can have the basketball look like it's going through the hoop. But before we can shoot any hoops, we're going to have to bring that backboard onto the stage. So let's use a preset to animate it in. Now I'm going to go over here and look at the objects that we've got to work with. I've got a big backboard here with a net on it, and if I just hide the rim layer, we can see that that's the net, but it's also, here, let me hide the basketball backboard here. It's also the front side of the rim, so that we'll get an accurate look of our ball kind of dropping down through the hoop here. Now if we're going to animate one of these pieces in, we're going to need to animate the other one in the same way. I'll go back and show the backboard layer, and we'll just make sure we work on both of them at the same time. We're not going to need the backboard for the beginning of our animation, and we're only going to need it out here where our ball starts bouncing again. So I can just grab these two keyframes, and one at a time I'm just going to drag them out till they start at frame, looks like 61 here. We'll do the same thing for our rim layer. Bring it out to frame 61, and that's where our animation is going to start. Now we've used motion presets before, and they're pretty easy to set up. I've got the rim selected, and let me go ahead and select the other piece, the backboard. Now, since they're not in adjacent layers, I can hold down the Control key or Command key on the Mac and click on the backboard keyframe. And there you see I've got both pieces selected and not the elements in between there. Now let's go over to our motion preset panel. I'm just going to use one of the default presets, and I'm looking for a fly in here. We've got a straight fly in right, and I don't really want anything blurring, so I'm going to use that one. Now we do get some information about the preset in the preview. When I click on it, the animation starts playing at the top, and it looks like we get a little fade and a little movement from right to left. When you're ready to use it, just click Apply, and we can see that our animation has been set up for both of the layers. So let me click away from the panel here. Now it looks at first like our backboard disappeared, but remember there was some fading involved in this animation. Now since we have the same animation on both of them, let's just click on the backboard, and we can see as we move the playhead around, we are getting that fade as the backboard kind of flies in from the right and drops into place. Let's select the tween and go take a look at this in the Motion Editor panel. I'll double click and bring my panel up, and I'll even click on the Y layer to collapse it, and we can see where the solid lines are. Like our basketball, the backboard moves in the X and the Y directions, so we see solid lines for both of those. And X and Y are actually hooked together. If you grab one, you're going to be setting up solid lines or changes for both of them. But down lower here, we can see that we have another property that's being animated, the alpha property. And if we watch the value as we move the playhead back and forth, we can see that the alpha starts out at a 0 and goes on up to 100. Now even though we only see two keyframes up here, we get a lot more information inside of this Motion Editor panel, and we can see exactly what the preset included and how it set up its animation. In addition to the controls, this preset also included an easing setting, a simple medium curve that we can see here has been added to the X and Y property. You'll find that a lot of the motion presets that are in the default folder do include some easings, and that's why they originally look so good when you set them up.